Hello, everyone. Welcome to FMK Anime. I am your host, Mep, joined by my co-hosts, Makan and Limis. Say hello, you two.
Hello, everyone.
Sup, fuckers, let's do this shit.
Hell yeah!
Hell yeah. Where can they find you?
You can find me nowhere really, because I don't do anything, but you can try at that_Viking on Twitter. Probably just gonna be a bunch of more possums, same old, same old.
And you can find me at limits.card.co, where you can find me thinly spread all across the internet, at places such as YouTube, where I'm going to be posting the VODs for the last however long the season's been going, at Channel 646.
This is our 8th week.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Only 4, potentially 3 more weeks left. But let's just start with Aquatope of White Sand, Episode 8. The Gamma Gamma gang bring the aquarium to the hospital, but they're not allowed to bring crabs. However, Mr. Krabs sneaks in while Karin and Kukru have some tension, and Umiya tries to get a previous guest to come see the aquarium again. All is well when the crab brings everyone together by taking a nurse hostage. The tone of this episode was odd, but I gotta say, I kinda liked it.
This episode was fucking weird.
It was weird, but I found it charming. I found the stuff with the crabs charming. I kinda liked the crab just being our villain of the week.
I don't even see the crab being a villain. The crab was just hanging out. It's cute. Crab was just like, oh, what's up? Hello there.
This is a classic man versus nature tale.
Yep. I love that nurse, though. Like, no crabs. Immediately, like, visions out and you see a crab with a pincer around Karin and a pincer around Kukru.
Also, you should call a glimpse of it in the fucking tank and immediately freak the fuck out.
Yeah. With as funny as I thought this episode was, I also did like the tension between Karin and Kukru. It shows that not everyone in our little troop believes the aquarium can be saved.
I think it'd be funny if this aquarium goes down at the end.
I actually have 2 things I think might happen once we get to episode 12. Because episode 12 is going to be the end of the first cour, and I have 2 theories. Either A, Kukru and Fuka are going to decide to save the aquarium by becoming idols and going into Fuka's life, or, and this is probably the more likely, there's going to be a time skip, and Kukru is going to try setting up her own aquarium and is going to bring Fuka into it.
I really don't think either of those is gonna happen.
Well, we have 16 episodes left, and they're only like a week away from the deadline where the aquarium closes. And we've been going, like, each episode is a couple days ahead.
So if they only have a week away now, the aquarium should, like, close next episode.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they made Fuka go back into the idol business in order to get some extra publicity. Here, host a fucking concert here.
Yeah, no, Fuka I get, but Kukru is not coming with her into that.
That's why I think it's more likely that there will be a time skip, and because I don't imagine if the aquarium shuts down, Kukru is like, well, fish are dead to me. I guess I'm just gonna be a soulless machine. No, I think she'll definitely try to set up her own aquarium, and she's like, that's where I see like everyone coming in, being like her trying to get everyone else back in on it. I don't know. Either way.
Well, I think that is possible. I do think the story is going to shape up to there simply being the fact that they managed to save the aquarium somehow. I mean, like, you're not going out of chronological, like, the, like, end of episode, like, after thing they have one of the people working for the new aquarium set up in like the center of the town, coming there to like learn how to work at an aquarium. I believe she's just gonna fall in love with this aquarium and refuse to work at the other one.
You think she's gonna have an LSD trip?
I mean, everyone that goes there has one.
Who keeps pumping LSD into the vents?
It's that little fucking kid who keeps eating fish heads.
Who knows? Maybe episode 12 will start the LSD arc where they have to catch this kid who keeps pumping LSD into the vents.
Yeah. Either way, about the episode more. I find Umiyan and like all the effort he goes through to, you know, help the people he befriends at the aquarium he works at really fucking adorable, and he's just a generally nice guy.
Oh yeah, he's just a nice old man who enjoys his idols. This episode really made me warm up to him.
I mean, I was always kind of warm for him. I'm like, yeah, there's more to you than just being a fucking old guy that has back problems. I figured as much, and now I get to see why. And my instincts were right.
Yeah, I really like the guy, and I like what we got with Karin too. Like the entire thing with her and Kukuru just having that little bit of tension with each other, and then sort of resolve. It was resolved at the end where they came to an agreement, or not agreement, but like saw eye to eye. Like I don't want it to close down either, and I'm going to help you as long as you try. But it was just this really nice scene between the two of them. I already liked the tourist lady, but God, this episode I really liked both Omiya and her in this episode.
As much as like I like the thing about, oh, I don't want the aquarium closed. I get that, but I think that's a very bad part of Kukuru's personality, because the adults in this fucking show are not delusional about it. They know it's closing down. None of them want it to, but like, what the fuck can you do to stop it, really? And Kukuru keeps getting pissed just because they've accepted reality, but they don't like it. So they're on her side, but they just know they can't really do anything. And she gets constantly pissy about it.
Yeah, and I definitely think that's a flaw of Kukuru's character, and I do like how she's slowly starting to, like, through her grandpa, through Karin, like, learn, like, that it is a possibility. Like I said, I really like that end scene between the two of them where they came eye to eye and saw where each other were coming from. Because Kukuru still is a kid. She's still in high school. So I definitely can see where she's coming from, not wanting this closed, but sometimes they're just facts of life that you can't change.
Right, my point is that she realizes she's been a bad person about just treating people the way she's been treating them because they just have accepted the fact of the situation. My problem is that she's never really grown to think about people in that way. She realizes and apologizes for it after it happens, but she keeps doing it.
Yeah, although it has been getting better, because unlike when she lashed out at Fuka, she didn't lash out here. She just got like, what's the word? She just got like
she got extremely passive aggressive.
Yeah,
which is still, kind of a thing.
Bad. It's still bad. Like, she's still frustrated and everything, and I definitely. But I can see her trying to work through that, but yeah, I definitely see where you're coming from. I'm fascinated to see where next episode goes, because setting up, like, I noticed how, like, Kukuru was, like, very petty in the after credits when she was looking at the new girl who I thought was Fuka's sister for a second. I was like, wait.
What? I mean, I understand. She's not being petty. It's a quite fucked situation. Hey, yeah. here's a worker from the place killing your aquarium. They're gonna come here and learn. What?
Yeah, petty wasn't the right word, but like how she's just very upset. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, who are we talking about?
It's the after credits scene.
Oh, I forgot there was one. Sorry.
You always need to check.
There's an after credit scene where a lady from the new aquarium goes to Gama Gama to learn, and you see Kukru being very, like, she's just giving her a glare the entire time.
Yep. I mean, that is fuck just, hey, here's your competitor that is choking the life of you, and they're gonna work here now. No!
When you quit McDonald's and start working at Wendy's.
Oh no, where am I gonna find a new teenager to work the deep fryer?
Guess I'd better check. Check sweatshop list.
Yeah. This entire episode was very cute, though. It showed realistically how much effort it would take to set up, all this, and how Fuka has been building muscle mass because working in an aquarium and lifting all these tanks and shit. Water is heavy. Building muscle. It's just the sheer fact of how this work is shaping out to be. I like those little details and the general how well oiled the machine of Kukru and Fuka has become when it comes to setting this stuff up.
Yep. Umiyan's back is still broken. That's a thing.
It's not broken. It just keeps breaking constantly.
I know. I find it funny. He's like, no, I can lift this. Ah!
Yeah. Also, the fucking girl that Umiyan was like promising to get these fishes to, and then she just never showed up again because she had some health problems. I love that he kind of was sad that he couldn't keep his promise to her and just wanted to do this, and when he saw that opportunity, took that chance. And that girl, she's fucking cute.
Yeah, I like how when the crab was on the nurse, everyone was like trying to get it, and then I forget who was it that stopped them.
That was Umiyan. But wait, she's enjoying sea life. Don't you dare ruin this.
She just picks up the crab. I do love the crab taking the nurse hostage and everyone just looking at this. She's just fucking having a panic attack.
And I love when she takes the crab over and just starts applauding. Yes,
Yeah.
My favorite part is just when the crab just showed up, just crawl up and sat on her tits like, hey, how you going?
Hey, how's it going? Are we ready for cards?
I think I said my face.
Yep.
I'm gonna fuck this episode. It was a bit weirder, but I still liked it. I'm gonna fuck it.
I mean, it's a continued story progression of the tension of the aquarium shutting down getting closer, the show itself setting up more into character development, and generally the episode was just fun, so I'm fucking it.
I continue to not care. Kill.
Alrighty. With that, let's move on to the case study of Vanitas, episode 9. Vanitas and Noe fight with Roland before making an escape, where Vanitas tells Noe they're looking for a Dr. Moreau from Resident Evil 8. After evading and beating the chasseurs, Noe takes Vanitas hostage and explains their motives to the chasseurs, who decide the issue with the Dr. Moreau is greater than their issue with them. I felt this is the weakest episode so far.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Bullshit!
This is one of the strongest!
This episode had a lot of character building, shit, like really good fucking jokes, and the story progression between the chasseurs and Vanitas.
I still liked this episode, but it kind of had an Ida 10 episode 5 effect where it felt like we were gearing up for this really big fight and it was over in a blink of an eye.
The fight lasted a decent amount. The fight just happened weirdly because he took the drugs and then turned around and talked to Vanitas for like 3 minutes. I'm like, hold up.
We eventually did get the fight with him and Noe, but Noe, of course, was in no position to fight. So, of course, they had to resort to more dirty tactics and stuff. And I think Vanitas and Noe, like, trying to plan, but also kind of being at each other's throats throughout this whole episode, was fun as hell to watch.
Oh yeah, the funniest thing from the show was when Noe took Vanitas hostage.
Yeah.
I love that. Seeing Vanitas be like, oh, well.
It's just like,
it
was so good.
The fucking paladin's helper was just like, they're faking it. And then just Vanitas legit screaming in fear for help. Like, are you sure?
Not even Vanitas was like, I'm not even sure if this is an act or he's really gonna kill me here.
Yeah, that was definitely the highlight of the episode for me. When it came to the fighting, I was kind of expecting more, and I was not left satisfied personally with the way that it ended. Like, they explained the motives to the chasseurs, which, okay, cool, but aren't chasseurs supposed to kill any and all vampires, especially ones that step on the premises?
True, but you see, this dude, who's his name, Frederick? Roland is fucking stupid. And he's also higher ranking than these other fuckers. So of course Noe's story would get him to go along. And he's like, no, we're following him now. And everyone's like, but we're supposed to... Yes, sir. Okay, cool.
But then again, it's also the lack of information on their part, because Vanitas, having been part of this organization, and himself speaking that they only... Because he didn't really understand why Noe was, not a feral fucking monster, and Vanitas explained that they only killed the feral ones that, attack people upside.
I guess...
So that's just him being fanatic and being like, oh yeah, we kill vampires. All vampires die.
And then when put into a situation where he's like, okay, motherfucker, see my other side. He's like, okay, sure.
And he's
like, I see, you're my friend now.
You're my friend.
It felt weird to me. Like, this episode had highlights, don't get me wrong. This episode had some really good moments, but unlike where almost every other episode I was, like, kept engaged and having fun throughout the entire thing, this one had some down moments where I felt like it was kind of dragging a little bit. Like, I hate that I keep having to say this, but I still like the episode. It's just I didn't think it was as strong, personally.
I have no idea what you mean by a drag.
I see where you're coming from, but I don't think it dragged. I think there was just a lot of tonal whiplash. Like, we went in and out from serious to goofy fun times, like, at the speed of light. Like, One moment we're like, okay, we're gonna have to take this lady hostage in order to get past this dude. Next thing you know, we got the goofy adventures of Vanitas and Noe as I'm taking you hostage, Vanitas.
I mean, I don't see that as a goofy thing in my mind, because it's just their personalities coming to a clash and boiling over as Noe just fucking has enough of his shit and just like, alright, I'll do what I want then.
Yeah, you're punished.
So that wasn't really a comedy thing until he fucking yeeted him.
Punished Noe is my favorite Noe.
Throw your boyfriend like a torpedo at the enemy to achieve a peaceful resolution.
Sounds like a fucking jacket quote from Payday 2.
I was fully expecting the grasp child firmly, like with Noe grabbing Vanitas.
I think that scene right there, I think this whole episode did such a good job at getting me even more invested in these two boys and their relationships with each other. Yeah.
And also, I do love that Noe just had enough not knowing what Vanitas is thinking when he's like... Because he constantly keeps making that face of just being lost in thought and looking forlorn, and Noe just notices something is going on, but just has no idea what the fuck it is, and, started screaming at him as he got frustrated. There's a lot of things that came to a boiling point between their relationship.
I just gotta say, I love the Paladin's weapon. I fucking... This might be why I'm disappointed we didn't get more. I love his weapon. I love it so much.
Yeah, twin blade whip sword.
I have mixed feelings.
That discharges lightning.
I like everything about it, but the fact that it's double-sided.
I agree.
Like, I think double-sided, it looks lopsided and stupid. If it was just like, if it was a bit thinner and it was just the one blade, I would totally be there with you guys.
I forgive it because it's meant to be dual. It looks like it's meant to be dual wielded at times and not just like twin blade. Like it's like, to me it feels like the equivalent of the dual saber, like the dual lightsaber versus the single lightsaber. It's like, oh, you know, you can have them all dual saber, or you can just dual wield two lightsabers like Grievous.
Well, I don't think Limis is complaining about it like being a twin blade, because twin blades are they exist and they can be cool. It's just it looks too thick and kind of weird.
No, I'm absolutely complaining about the fact that it's a twin blade. I think twin blades are stupid.
That's fair enough then. And I kind of agree with you for purpose.
It's like, as soon as you got someone who's twirling it around like it's a fucking helicopter blade, then it's just like, this is stupid.
Well, twirl it fast enough, you can fly.
What, you don't like the Inquisitors using their two-ended lightsabers flying?
The two-ended helicopter lightsabers can suck my dick. Enough about Star Wars. How about Vanitas?
Yeah, Vanitas is number 69.
Uh,
I have a feeling this doctor. I have a feeling this doctor might be a little bit. Okay, this might just be my eyes noticing cliches in media, but I'm fully expecting this doctor to be a little bit rapey.
My dear number 69.
I want to hope that it's just a coincidence that the author was just like, fuck it, 69. Something tells me we're not going to get much in terms of serious content out of the Doctor, and that scares me. Because this dude's important to Vanitas' backstory, obviously.
I think it's going to be serious. I do think the author know what they did and was like, he who funny sex number, so people will freak out, but other than that, we're not going to do anything with it.
It's...
Also, the part of Vanitas' backstory I'm interested in is it actually involves the, real Vanitas and why our Vanitas wants revenge on him. That's what I'm really interested in.
Oh, yeah, and also, he's a person who had his entire family killed by vampires, and his goal is not to kill all vampires in the world. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like that scene where he's talking like, I think vampires and humans are both equally disgusting and vile creatures. And I believe that fully ties into Dr. Moreau.
Me sitting there with my fucking glasses drinking out. I'm like, cheers, I'll drink to that.
Thinking about it in hindsight, I'm actually warmer on this episode than I remember. It's still probably, you know what? It's probably tied with episode 6 now. The one right after the flashback episode.
Yeah, for me, it's like, for best episode of Vanitas so far, episode 9, this one, and the flashback episode are head and head. The flashback was so well done, and is just a great story in itself, but this episode feels like it embodies all of what I loved about the show.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's either the flashback or this. This is the best episode. I'm not sure which one I can decide on either.
I definitely think the flashback, just because specifically because I feel like the tone of the flashback was consistent and really good. I thought, like, whenever the tone in the flashback episode shifted, I thought it did it perfectly. Like when Noe was drinking Dami's blood and then launched himself at Louis. Like, I don't know. I definitely felt the tonal whiplash this episode, and it kind of not disgruntled, but it threw me for a loop at times.
Well, I mean, the entire show has a lot of jokey moments inlaid between the serious stuff. It's just how it always been.
And what have I been saying about those moments since episode 1?
Yeah, I know you've been complaining about them, but I think they're good. They're good fucking joke moments.
It depends for me. It's very much joke by joke.
I mean, sure, not every joke is gonna land, but on a whole, they're good.
Okay. but I thought like everything that they did this episode, with the exception of Vanitas being number 69, was good. Like, I felt like that went a little too far.
I mean, at the same time, like, but other than that, I don't see it meaning anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
I just hope this doctor... Because, like, we even saw the little glimpse of Vanitas being like, "Oh, Dr. Moreau!" I really hope the doctor isn't super, like, sexual or like, you are going to be my perfect husband.
Oh,
I doubt it.
Oh, Dr. Moreau. You know Vanitas. That's a fucking act.
Oh, yeah. He's putting up an act to let him in. Absolutely.
I know it's an act from Vanitas. I'm just really hope that's not the direction they go with Moreau, personally.
I mean, Moreau's just a lunatic. We might be rapey. I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't think they would go that way in the show. Like, yeah. Definitely he did some fucked up shit, because Vanitas looked like he was about to throw hands with this fucker.
And hey, even if they do make Moreau rapey, it can't be worse than what they did in Ida 10.
It's not going to get rapey.
It probably can, but I don't think they will.
No, I don't. I have too much faith in the show to pull a day-to-day in.
And me, I do have to say, you can do worse things than Ida 10 did. You really can. It's just that things they did were still bad enough.
Remember, if you ever think it was bad, it can always get worse.
I just don't think it's possible for this show to do worse.
Hey, it is rated R17 plus for violence and profanity, not sexual shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the fucking quote from the Simpsons movie of all things. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. This is the worst thing you've ever seen yet.
Are we ready for cards, gents?
Sure.
Yeah, I think I am.
I'm gonna fuck this episode. I still enjoyed it well enough, and on hindsight, I think I enjoy it more. But fuck.
I mean, hey, don't let our emotions cloud your feelings. But yeah, I'm gonna enthusiastically fuck this episode. This is great. Like I said, this might be one of my favorite episodes of the show, and in turn of the season.
I'm also giving it the fuck. I had a great time with it, and fucking the entire thing where Noe and Vanitas came to clash was really fucking interesting. Or when it wasn't interesting, it was just plain fucking funny. And I had a lot of enjoyment with this episode, with all the characters, and Roland coming with them. I don't think I've been more excited about a thing, and I hope he stays for longer, because he's a great addition to this group, and the comedy dynamic of it.
I'm seeing a lot of manga readers like get really excited when he showed up, so I think he's gonna be a lasting character, at least a side character.
Good.
I know. The only thing I saw manga readers even complain about was that they apparently cut a scene where Vanitas was being reckless with his life or something like that. I don't know.
But even then, we get plenty of scenes of that.
We have enough scenes of him being reckless with his life. I think we get the idea.
Yeah, but I think the reason why people were upset it was cut is because there was no way confronting him about it.
That
would be
We'll
good.
probably get that. We'll probably get that again at some point. Like that feels like something important enough to where it's going to get touched on.
Yeah, just maybe not now. I don't think it's going to be a full Peach Boy situation where, we're going to put this at the end of the show, this important scene.
Yeah. Well, that is a trifecta for Vanitas episode 9. Let's move on to Girlfriend episode 9. Milika confronts Naoya, and after an initial conversation, she then decides to confess to him, kissing him in front of his girlfriends and telling him that if he ever wants to go for her, he has to dump Nagisa and Saki. Then Naoya tries to comfort his two depressed, sad, lonely girlfriends and tells them he will take them both on dates.
But one thing you don't know is that Saki's friend listened to the whole thing.
Probably.
Yeah, love the developments that came from this episode. Like Milika cementing herself as an actual antagonist. No, she's not joining this troop. She's the one that's trying to break it up. And then Saki's friend listening in being like, wait, fuck, she's being two-timed.
Yeah, I mean, I love how Milika didn't just go, yeah, I want in. She just comes in and goes, oh, it's Mr. Steal Your Man.
Coming in with that.
Yep.
That's definitely sexual assault.
Stealing a kiss is not assault.
Well, not assault, harassment.
Kinda. It's a weird fucking gray area. With how he reacted, it definitely impacted him badly, so kinda.
I like that it wasn't just something that was dropped, but like it had lasting consequences to everyone's mood. Because that was kind of a gross move.
Yeah, I do like Milika and how when she was initially rejected, like on the roof, like what would you have done if I did say I liked you? And she was like, no, I'm the Milika. I will do what I can. I did like that.
I do like, essentially, in one of the fucking things where she said she liked him, and he went, thanks, but...
I do like the developments that came out this episode. Like him going, no, I'll take you both on dates. Like, where do you want to go? A hot springs. Already?
We're getting an onsen episode.
And he's like, fuck, I guess I'll make it work.
Listen, of all the shows to get a hot spring episode, I feel this is the one that can make it work.
Listen,
I feel like this is the one that makes the most sense.
This one deserves it at this point. And I'm not gonna lie, I'd want one from Vanitas, but that's for different reasons.
Hey-o.
I can't wait if we get a hot springs episode. I totally see Milika and Saki's friend following them. Just shenanigans afoot.
Hey, Aquatope gets a hot springs episode. They bring the fish with them and they boil them alive.
Oh, it's one way to traumatize Kukuru. It's sushi and...
Remember, this is how... Remember these dead fish? This is how dead the aquarium is.
Oof!
Oh. I'm really excited to see the dynamic Saki's friend brings to the table.
She's gonna be constantly trying to break this shit up, I think, and it's gonna be more aggressive and, you know, straightforward than Milika is. They're just like, hey, dump him, date me, come on.
You think Shino is gonna get into a boxing ring with Naoya?
Yes. I also think she might team up with Milika to sabotage her best friend's relationship in a weird way of, you know, working with her own morals.
That would be incredible, and I'm super down for that.
That's just the first instinct I have, like, wait, I mean, they're both trying to do the same thing. They're trying to break up the relationship.
We have two forces of antagonism in this show now, and I'm so excited to see where these developments go, because I love how Naoya's solutions are always so straightforward, and like both of his girlfriends are there actually crying, and he's like, do you want me to kiss you? No! The mood has to be right!
It's like, he's fine!
And you know what the funniest part of that is to me?
What?
I don't think Milika realized he stole their first kiss.
Yeah, no, she didn't.
Because I can totally see a scene later where Saki and Nagisa are like, you stole his first kiss, and she's like, I fucking what?
You see...
Yeah. No, I don't... Yeah, no, she realized... She said that was her first kiss, but yeah, no, I don't... I think she's figured they've been macking like mad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, little did she know, but this is her kick the puppy moment.
Yep. That's why she probably didn't see it as such a big deal. Or at the very least, like, why she assumed he'd be okay with it is because she figures he's just out there kissing all the girls.
Well, yeah, I think everyone thinks that he's some sort of creepy sex pervert because he's got two girlfriends.
Yeah.
Now this motherfucker
like-
just likes his two girls, and he's just doing the same with them.
He's like, I just love these women. This is how it is. I also, the fucking point where Milika steals that kiss, the best part of it is just Saki's screech on top of it.
Yeah. I love these voice actors so much. The main character, I found out, Naoya is voiced by Itadori's voice actor.
Oh no!
Yeah, I didn't realize that until I was looking at the voice actors. I'm like, wait a minute.
What a fucking tonal shift!
Wait, Itadori, like, the fucking main
From
character...
My Hero Academia!
What the fuck is this motherfucker doing here?
No, from Jujutsu Kaisen.
Oh, right.
Oh.
Itadori Midoriya. Yeah, it's close.
This dude's
Still a fucking tonal shift!
This dude's also fucking Fugo in JoJo's.
Yeah.
Oh, he's also a cheese boy.
This motherfucker got, like, quite the roles. What the hell's he doing in this shitty show?
Also,
having a blast, that's what he's doing.
That's what he's doing.
Here's the thing, Mikan. Itadori and Naoya would get along great.
They'd be best fucking friends.
Yeah. Fucking get Naoya with Toto and Itadori, damn!
He'd be clapping along.
Boogie woogie! This show,
His curse ability would just be advanced stupidity.
Exactly.
Bumble your way to victory.
It makes everyone else nearby work on his level of intelligence for a while.
I'm for sure that there's only two brain cells in this relationship, and they're both named Unga and Bunga.
Yes.
I like how Naoya finally realized, wait, I haven't taken either of you on dates. I should probably do that. Let's start there.
Yeah, we just kind of jumped into this whole thing. Fuck it.
I was surprised he never took Saki on dates before Nagisa came into the picture.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense, because for him, not much would have really changed, because he's liked her since they were kids. And at that point, like, them becoming an actual couple was more formality for him. I don't know, it's weird.
I don't think it was formality for him, but I mean, at the same time, I think he would have, like, taken her on a date, because that would be a bit, it's a different thing.
Yeah. I mean, I think at the start of the show it was implied that it was a relatively new relationship, too. Like, I think...
Yeah, I mean, he's basically been begging her to fucking be his girlfriend for 3 years, and she finally accepted.
Well, more than 3, because he liked her since elementary school, and they're in high school now.
Yeah, he liked her since then, but I don't think he started asking her to go out with him the entire time. At least from what I understood.
I can't fully remember. Also, it is Japan, so they're probably also really busy with schoolwork and studying too.
I mean, they seem fine. They have a lot of free time, essentially.
What do you mean? Nagisa does it all for them? No.
Saki just fucking laces about and doesn't care about schoolwork, and from what I understand, gets shitty fucking grades. Naoya just studies in his free time, which he really needs to, because he's too stupid to class otherwise.
Yeah, I love that.
Any free time he has, he just studies, and then, like, and you still are kind of shit at him? Like, he's like, fucking thanks!
Yep. I do love how Naoya just constantly has all, like, insults and physical violence get flung his way, yet he's always so positive and so loving. This episode, the best boyfriend.
This motherfucker, this episode, hurts himself apologizing, doing what only I can assume is he just took his head and just pounded his forehead into like a sharp rock or something on a hill.
Yeah, there must have been a sharp rock there.
I was kind of expecting the scene to cut over and there would be a rusty nail sticking out.
Alright, So, actually, first, before we continue, can I just ask for a quick bathroom break?
Sure thing.
Sure.
Yeah. Sorry. We'll just be right back before we get to cards here.
Nalia is such a strong main character, and I wouldn't even say he's very deep. I just love him.
He's just a likable guy.
It's hard not to like him. I like how he keeps asking if Milika's messed up because she likes him.
Yeah, no. It's just...
Wait, are you actually messed up? It's like, what?
Well, no, but also the entire point, and that's still my favorite scene, made me laugh so hard when she's like, I do kind of like you. I don't exactly remember what she said. He's like, thanks, but you wouldn't date a guy like me, right?
I fucking even the scene when they're in class too, and Saki's like, he's humiliating her. Good.
Yeah.
Man, I never would have thought Milika would be one of my favorite antagonists this season.
I think she's the best one. She's just really fucking funny.
I do too. We haven't seen enough of Charlatan for me to get a good grasp on them. The Paladin you can't even figure as an antagonist anymore.
Nah, he became friend.
Yeah.
It's like a JoJo character villain being defeated and then becoming a duo bro.
You know what? Here's an antagonist I can get behind. Capitalism from Dungeon of Black Company.
Yes.
Right, yeah. The
Lord. We didn't really have any antagonists with Sunny Boy, neither with Duke.
We had such a calm season. Yeah, everything that had a antagonist fucking died early on.
I have a good one. The author of Ida 10.
No, this season's had a lot of antagonism compared to last season. Holy shit, what is happening? Comparably to last season, where we really had to struggle to find one, I have several antagonists that I can think of to nominate for the awards.
Really?
Yeah, look, we've had the most antagonists since the fall season, and that is saying something.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Jesus. I was expecting us to have at least one good action show, but Ida10 and Peach Boy both shit the bed so early on.
Yeah.
Why did they end up being bad? They both could have been good. Why did they have to be bad?
Yeah, they're literally both bad, but could be fixed and made good if you just didn't make certain decisions.
You just have to remove some things and it'd be good?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But
yeah, no, Oops, sorry.
Sorry, go.
I was just gonna say, yeah, no, winter and spring both were kind of dry for antagonists. Fall we had some good ones because we had Sherlock, Jujutsu Kaisen, things like that. Because I remember in winter, the antagonist we had from Jujutsu Kaisen was the principal because none of us were super strong on Hanami. Don't get me wrong, I love Hanami's design, but we didn't get to see enough of their character for me to make an accurate judgment.
Alright, before we continue with this, should we give cards for girlfriend, despite everyone already knowing what we do?
Yep, then we go into Graveyard Tour after that. Monkey Mode Brain, I'm fucking the show.
I am also gonna fuck this show.
I am fucking this show, and we have now officially dropped our kill streak.
Combo breaker!
I thought girlfriend was gonna die this week, I'm not gonna lie.
What?
You think that every week?
Because
Your brain bugged me. Girlfriend's gonna die with its perfect track record.
No, I don't think that every week. I thought that the first week and now this week. The reason why was that I didn't think that either of the that any of the jokes were going to land for you guys, and I thought you guys were going to be a bit more hung up on the kiss. That is what I thought, but hey, I was proven wrong.
I'm not hung up on the kiss because Milika's the antagonist, and that was a pretty fucking dick move.
I'm hung up on the kiss because that was a good fucking scene story-wise. It's not funny, but it's good drama in this comedy drama.
Yeah.
You see, if they were like, oh, it wasn't creepy because it was a woman kissing a man, then I'd be hung up on it. But that's not what it did.
Then I'd kill the show on the spot.
Yeah. Like, I am happy that we all seem to be on the same page with this show. I guess I'm just expecting, like, spring to happen again, where it's like, hey, I like this. Hey, I like these 3 shows, then the other 2 you just come out of the bush and start beating me with rocks.
Why don't you go full monkey mode and just fucking destroy Vivi's for, like, weeks straight?
Well, I mean, if we didn't become shit for weeks straight, then I wouldn't have. Anyway. So, yeah. Kill streak has ended. Graveyard tour.
Yeah.
I have something to talk about on the Graveyard tour today.
Ooh.
Last Friday, I sat down with my good pal Steak, and we watched The Witcher: Nightmare of the Wolf movie. That is a fantastic fucking anime movie, and I recommend everyone to fucking watch it.
Fuck, I'm gonna have to take a look at it, because I love The Witcher 3.
Yeah, like, it's the story's about Vesemir when he was young.
Vesemir, that's Geralt's teacher, right?
Yeah, it's Geralt's dad.
Hell yeah.
Because Geralt's not dad. The show is fucking fantastic in its story. It's probably has the antagonists that I have hated the most in probably any media I've consumed in the last 10 years. The fight scenes are expertly choreographed. The art style is fantastic. The lighting and music composition works fantastic. It is a fucking perfect 10 out of 10 movie for me.
Nice.
And I don't want to spoil much, because even if you haven't played The Witcher or seen the Witcher series, watch this movie. It is fantastic. It explains so much of how the Witchers work and how they're built up and what they have to go through to become Witchers, and the general story about the world and how people are treated. It just covers so much about the lore of The Witcher.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun. I'll give it a watch. I watched a few things this week too. I'm actually going to start off with Fina Pirate Princess, because episode 4 was really good. Because we've had this mystery with the clear, perfectly cut square glass stone. And they just made a discovery about it. The stone was commissioned by a famous England figurehead. I'm not going to say who, because I don't want to spoil it. Who, it is implied, faked their execution and came and commissioned the stone, and it's sort of implied that the main character is somehow related to them. Obviously, not like, oh, they're my dad or mom, because, that was still like 300 years ago, but still, it's like they're implied that they're at the very least some kind of descendant or something. And I really like the mystery it's setting up. It is a good mystery about pirates trying to find hidden treasure and figuring out what this stone leads to. I really like it. Like, I highly recommend, if anyone can check out Fina Pirate Princess, please check it out. It's really good.
Maybe I'll be real with you. When you said someone like faked their execution and hid a fucking big treasure, the fucking One Piece theme just started playing in my mind.
I would also like to bring up something. I'd like to bring up one of the shows that we murdered. So I got around to watching Beach Boy Riverside recently, and oh my god. And so basically the problem with this show is that the director is fucking insane and decided that he was gonna fucking rearrange the entire order of the show and how it's supposed to go. So the first episode that we watched should have been the second episode, and episode 4 is the episode that should have been episode number 1.
What's wrong with this fucking person?
I don't know.
Do they just exist to make the fucking mangakas cry?
Exactly.
That's not all. Episode 3 was supposed to be like episode 9 or something too, I believe, wasn't it?
Fucking hell.
And guess what? You want to know something? Episode 4 is fucking incredible. It's super good. Like, with the exception of, like, a couple weird sexual shit that was added, because I did read the manga on top of that, because I wanted to see, compare and contrast, they added some sexual stuff that I'm not a fan of. But besides that, like, if that would have been number 1, I honestly would have, like, kept voting for this to be the best first impression. Like, it's incredible. It's done so well. There's a great scene where, like, it's when Sally and the boy with the katana first meet. And the whole point of it is that Sally is a princess of this kingdom. The kingdom's being attacked by Oni. And they're declaring that they want, in order to not invade their kingdom, they want 40 sacrifices every day, every week or month or whatever, so to keep them from invading. And so the king's like, I don't know what the fuck we're gonna do. And the boy with the katana just leaves the kingdom, kills them all, and Sally tries to hunt him down because she wants to go on an adventure with him. And there's a scene of him, carving up these Oni, and he's really fucking good at it. And then we get to see the aftermath, and it's just body parts and blood everywhere. He's drenched in blood, but he's got this happy-go-lucky persona on him. And he looks at Sally, and he's just like, oh, what's the matter? You want to come with me? Just come over here. And then she just looks at the bodies, and just keels over and almost starts to vomit. And he's just basically like, well, I mean, I'm not going to take you with me on a journey if you're going to be a weakling like that, and you're going to, like, fucking, like, fall over the bodies of, like, monsters like this all the time. And it's really excellently done. There's no way I can describe it that'll bring forth, like, the emotions and the tone that is that scene. And it's just unfortunate, because the rest of the show is totally not like that. Like, the third episode is so fucking disjointed. Like, the one thing that we all feared would happen, aka the guard captain dude who got his city destroyed, would just get over the fact that the city got destroyed in an instant, totally does happen. It's like, it feels like a day has passed, and he's like this happy-go-lucky swordsman dude.
Yeah, and it's all because that's supposed to be, like, way ahead in the manga. Like, I believe it's supposed to be episode 9 from what I was hearing people say.
Yeah. And on top of this, like, remember the weird hentai tentacle thing that happens in the one episode where she's walking through the... Yeah. It happens again. And in the 4th episode, both times it's completely written in. It's anime original. This is not in the manga.
It's not in the manga. Okay. Fucking why?
The fucking director of this screwed whoever the author was over, like, so hard. I feel bad for the author, and really anyone who's had their, like, creative vision fucked with to this degree.
Yeah, fucking Peach Boy machete execution at the Riverside.
It's so depressing because, like, I feel like I'd love this show if it was just put together in the correct order.
It's not even like the Promised Neverland where they just skipped an arc and did a bunch of anime original stuff. It's just you're putting it out of order, which I don't know what's worse.
It's a shame because, yeah, like I said, I feel like I'd be totally into this. Like, it would be at least a 7 out of 10 for me, but it's just not happening. And I don't think it's ever going to happen. It's until it, like, fully comes together. Like, I'm going to wait for the full series to come out, and I'm going to see if, like, the people who read the manga put out a watch order that's supposed to be the proper chronological order, and then I'm going to watch it like that.
But here's the thing, even if you do watch it like that, it's going to be fucked still, isn't it? Or is it just that they have put the episodes in the wrong fucking order?
I think it's just that they put it in the wrong order. Because you can totally watch episode 4 as episode 1 and nothing would change.
It kind of ties into episode 1? No?
It ties into episode 1 way better! Remember where we start in episode 1 where it's just Sally looking at Frau?
Yeah,
we get to see... Yeah. It ends with, like, the 30 seconds that lead up to that moment.
I am convinced that the fuckers who made this just fucking put the episodes in, like, yeah, we're, like, they've already done all the episodes, and they put, like, the thing list in, like, hey, we're releasing them in this order, and the list was just entirely fucked up.
I'd have to find the interview again, but I did see an interview, because someone posted this in the seasonal anime section of the Team 4-Star server. It was an interview with the director, who's doing this so they can avoid an anime original ending. And I'm wondering how this is avoiding an anime original ending.
How is this avoiding it? You're just creating more problems.
Like you said, the director is insane, and no one should have... What is the director of Peach Boy directed? Hold on.
I looked this up. He has directed, like, 2 other shows that have been based on, like, anime booby iOS games, and they're both panned, collectively. And he's been an assistant director on everything else.
Oh.
At most, he's directed a couple episodes of big shows, and that's about it. He's...
fantastic.
I directed one of the filler arcs in Bleach.
Yeah, he's basically a newbie to, like, being in full creative control over a manga adaptation. This is his first try, and it's fucking terrible.
I'm gonna be real. Maybe he should not work in this fucking business anymore.
Or at the very least, he should learn how to make a good show.
Like,
if he's been working on this since, like, Bleach was airing, and, like, being in this industry, he should know how to make a good show at this point.
Like, I mean, at least not, butcher the source material this bad.
Yeah, he should know how to count from 1 to 12 without mixing the numbers up.
Yeah, he did one episode of Bleach, number 286. Which, I don't know what if that means anything to anyone.
It's a filler Halloween episode.
Oh, of course.
Fucking fantastic. I don't want to talk about Peach Boy anymore, because it's just making me depressed that someone could fuck up this bad.
It's just sad, because, like... I'm just gonna say, I've read the manga, and honestly, I think it's a manga that would... Like, what hurts the most is that I've read the manga, and I think this is a manga that... This is a story that works better in the visual form. Because I just liked the way that the anime has done things better. So... We're in this catch-22 if it's like, yeah, but also, it's out of fucking order, so who the fuck knows?
Well, McCon, you don't want to talk about Peach Boy because it's depressing you. Then let's talk about Ida 10, because I watched Ida 10 episode 7.
Oh, fucking great.
So, more training with... Or, no, wait, no. Fuck, no, not more training. The episode opens up with Paula and Yeasley talking to the religious country, proclaiming themselves as gods, and they convince the religious country to help Zobel rebuild because the gods are going to invade Zobel. The Miku realizes the gods are going to invade Zobel, so she takes a nurse demon, the second demon in the ending, because Miku, that one demon, and Piscalat are in the ending, so that demon's going to be important. And the demon who has the ability to create more demon babies. That's this one really fucked up scene that I didn't like, because it was when Miku goes in there and you see this like maternity ward filled with prisoners of war that are all pregnant, giving birth to rape children, and the nurse is talking about like, oh, you're gonna raise these to be the same kind of soldiers that did this to you, and it's like, that's pretty fucked up. And then when Miku, and the demon that has power to make other demons are fleeing through the underground passage, there's another really messed up scene that I didn't like, because it was played for jokes again, where Miku is talking about, oh, okay, once the 2 babies that are inside you are born, me and you can start popping out kids. The girl goes, wait, you want me to have You want me to have kids with someone who's a baby right now? Then Miku goes, wait, what, you're not into shotas? She's like, well, I like shotas, but... And then it goes on this really gross scene of Miku being like, oh, I want to make a little boy addicted to my body, and it's really gross. Then the gods invade the country, and we actually get some good action, some good fighting. Rin has to fight 3 puppeteered corpses, and Hayato frees the nun and some of the other prisoners from Zobel, and they are doing a little bit of a thing where the nun and Hayato have a semi-little crush on each other, and it's kind of cute, kinda. I don't know. Hayato is the most interesting Ida-10 to me, because he's the most like a human. Like, whereas Easley and Paula are definitely, oh no, those are Ida-10. Hayato is odd. Hayato acts like a human.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest, from the sounds of it, I think Hayato is the only character I actually like anymore. Well, him and Rin.
Yeah, Hayato, Rin, what's his face, and Paula's just kind of a non-character, and they don't...
Why, you don't like Paula Dean?
She doesn't have a character. And the Rin's other student, what's his name? I think he's okay.
Prontia.
Yeah, Prontia. And I actually, like I said last time, I do like the dynamic that Piscalot is bringing in, but overall, the show, I think we made the right call, because at this point, I'm just watching it for the style, designs, and Hayato. Because, well, and Rin. I like Rin. Rin destroys half the city, and Hayato's like, Rin, there's only 300 demons in there. She's like, oh, why didn't you tell me that earlier? We fucking did!
That's pretty good.
I'm not gonna lie, like, parts of the show sounds like, hey, this is actually a good show, and then the other part of it's just like, this is fetish material.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, when we talked about the fucking, like, the first half of this entire point, I'm like, oh, gross, thank God I'm not watching it. And the second half, I'm like, I kind of want to fucking watch that, though.
That's the worst part, because... Like, because I'm looking at these designs, I'm like, I love these designs. But the characters are just so horrible. They handle the subject material terribly. Like, one of my favorite characters is Piscalot. And the only reason I like her is because she added a good dynamic to the group. And she has a good design. That's pretty much it. Like, the show is such a mixed bag for me. I wish they just cut out all of the fetish bait. At worst, it's fetish bait. At best, they're just incredibly tone deaf, but I think it's fetish bait.
It's like,
It's definitely fetish shit.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
the
mangaka did a bunch of, like, doujins and fucking porn stuff before, right?
Yeah, this definitely feels like the mangaka wanted to make another doujin, but decided, nah, let's make it kind of manga. I don't know.
Let's make it an action series instead, but somehow it got a fucking adaptation. Like...
Got an adaptation because Mappa needed money to make Chainsaw Man, and I'm just sitting here looking at all the other manga that I've seen and could be good, and like, really, Mappa, you couldn't have chosen any other one? Oh, you chose it because it had a big name attached to it, that's why.
Because Interspecies Reviewers was popular. Same dude.
Yep.
Which, like, this shocks me, because I remember hearing how much fucking... It's Today, I mean, not Today, the other show. Interspecies.
I
was
bet
like
you,
super sex positive and shit. Like,
yeah, no, it's really sex positive. Because I remember when I was when that manga was just starting up, I stumbled across it when I was reading manga on an app, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's pretty fucking funny though.
I bet you if it got more than 3 episodes, that there would have eventually been some gross stuff they covered. Because the anime got canceled after 3 episodes. Funimation completely dropped it.
No, I mean, they stopped airing it. It still continued, didn't it?
Let me check.
I don't think it did, because I know Kuro was talking with us saying that it didn't.
I think it just got dropped from, like, airing. It has 12. It has a full 12 episode run.
Oh, okay. then I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it just got dropped by
They
some
stopped publishing it.
because it was basically hentai, and they just didn't want to put straight up hentai on their site.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just surprised how they fucking did that mix up when it's, it is kind of softcore porn. The original source material, but then it becomes hardcore porn, I guess.
Yeah.
it's another case of Funimation wanted money to make a show, and except in this case, they realized not halfway, 3 episodes in, what they got into, they're like, we don't want to fucking do this. Man. Let's let go of the sadness. I also watched an episode of Remake Our Life. It was a really good episode. So, they finished the game, right? And the game sells well, but the entire time, Shinoaki seems really kind of upset because Kyoya took the entire project onto himself and was essentially, everyone was doing what he was saying. And she had this scene with him where she asked, does it really have to be this way? And he's like, well, yeah, it won't sell otherwise. And she's like, well, okay, if you say so. And they get the money for, for Tsurayuki to stay. Alright, Tsurayuki goes on a walk with Kyoya and talks with him and tells him that he's going to be dropping out because he realized he can't stack up to Kyoya, and Kyoya has done everything for him, and Tsurayuki has not been allowed to do any of the work, and Tsurayuki takes that as a failing on his part and drops out. Kyoya has a breakdown in the street because he was the direct reasons why one of his idols from the same industry is not going to be in it anymore. And then he comes to the realization, wait a second, they were already the platinum generation in my timeline. Why? I don't need to help them. And the pink-haired lolly shows up, and she's like, I wonder how things could have gone this way, and has this really blank, dead expression on her face. And after Kyoya passes out, he wakes up 12 years in the future again with a young girl looking like Shinoaki, calling him dad. And Shinoaki walks in the room, calling him darling. And they set up some really interesting thing with his time travel powers, like how the pink-haired lolly might be tied to it. Because I think it might be some kind of hallucination or trial he's being put through by some grand deity. I'm not sure. It's hard to tell at this point, but I really like the episode. My description cannot do it enough justice. I thought it was a really incredible episode, and the problem I had with last episode, where Tsurayuki had nothing to do with his problem getting fixed, that was actually the point. Because Kyoya is trying to take everything onto himself and fix everyone else's problems, and it's having a negative effect on Tsurayuki. I thought that was really interesting when it clicked for me. I loved that. I really enjoyed episode 8.
Fuck. The whole thing of him just waking up in the future again, apparently either married or in a very serious relationship with Shinoaki, I personally, that would feel wrong.
Yeah. And you can tell he's troubled by it. If you can, at some point, I would highly recommend catching up, because episode 8 pays off a lot of stuff. And I was incredibly...
I haven't dropped the show. I'm going to finish it at some point. But fuck.
Yeah, my explanation cannot do it justice. It is... If we watched it on the FMK, I would say it's one of... I would personally want to nominate it for best episode, but unfortunately we didn't watch it, so...
Shit. I still think we did the right choice in killing, because it did enough to fuck over my and Limis' expectation of it, but it seems to be on the upswing, which, good for it. And, because I kill on episode-to-episode basis, so if the show fucks up and it's generally good, well, you're getting the knife.
Yeah, like, honestly, I wasn't too terribly invested in it to begin with, so, like, I'm probably not going to return to it. Though I'm glad it's getting better, at least.
Yeah, because I mean, from the sounds of it, it did kind of abandon the focus it had on a lot of the specifics of the medium that they're kind of working within.
Well, I don't think this is going to be the only time he travels. Like, I think he's probably going to end up traveling back to the past again. Probably, I'm assuming, around the time after Shinoaki kissed him, maybe? I don't know. I don't know, but I'm intrigued to see where it goes. I definitely... Episode 8... Because if Episode 8 was bad, I was going to drop it. But Episode 8 got me right back on board, and I was really happy with Episode 8. The only other show I have to talk about is Duke. It had a Christmas episode. I thought it was nice and cute. Not really much to talk about it, though. And yeah, those are my graveyard tours, unless I'm forgetting something that I watched.
I mean, yeah, if you're done, I got one more thing I would like to talk about.
Only other thing I have to mention is Vanitas is now a 7.90. Girlfriend dropped another 0.1. RIP. And I have successfully bought Time. There's nothing else that I watched other than Slime, but I don't really care to talk about Slime.
I continued my rewatch of Hellsing Ultimate. That show, like, it's weird. Like, I watched it through, and, like, that show got better on a rewatch. I don't think I've ever had a show do that. Like, there was an episode that I remember hating when I watched through it the first time. Fucking loved it now. Don't know why. And just, there's a really great scene that's like I said, I've been comparing this to Today in the 80s a whole lot, because they're kind of cut from the same cloth. It is a hentai doujin author moving on to making at least a more action-based series that also has darker themes and tones and stuff. And there is a really gross scene in that episode, in episode 8. But of course, the show does everything in its power to remind you, this is a fucking disgusting act that is happening right now. And the best thing about it is that it lets you linger with those feelings for long enough that it makes you angry, and then it gives you a place to vent that anger with one of the characters basically going on a killing rampage and basically regaining their power. So basically to try to be a bit vague, one of the characters in it has a backstory flashback where it turns out that they were orphaned as a child because 2 robbers broke into their house, killed both of their parents, and in front of their eyes, and then she was kind of forced to watch in silence while the body of her mother got raped. It is a fucked up scene. It is really disgusting. And then when we come back into the modern times, and we come out of the flashback, it's about when she gets powered up, and then we just see her get to fucking wreck shit, and it's really cool, and there's a lot of payoff, and it symbolizes the end of her character growth. And, it's not just a gross scene for the sake of having a gross scene, or for comedy.
No, it portrays things better than Ida-ten did. Because Ida-ten doesn't understand the tone you need to have when you speak about rape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like... Yeah, we're having a scene, like, fucking Today in the 80s feels like it would have a scene about necrophilia, and it would full-on play it up for a joke. In Hellsing, it plays it dead straight.
Yeah, and Ida-ten would be like, the corpse actually enjoyed it.
But in Hellsing, it plays it dead straight, and and also you get catharsis afterwards. You get the end of a character arc and a really fucking fun fight.
I do need to watch Hellsing. Also, when you're done, there is actually one more show I need to mention.
Okay, Yeah, and that's about all I want to say. I don't want to talk too long about the show that's not actually part of the show.
Alrighty.
I just wanted to bring it up because it has, like I said, it has parallels to today. And
well, the other show I actually want to bring up, I completely forgot about, which is sad, because episode 21 of Tokyo Revengers has been the best episode we've had since the episode where, essentially since the episode of Hina's funeral. However, I noticed a trend with Tokyo Revengers. Takemichi being in the past doesn't matter until the final 5 minutes of every arc. The final 5 minutes where he carried Draken to the ambulance in the first arc, and then the final 5 minutes of this arc where he got to do another thing. I don't understand why this is a time travel anime, because the main character being in the past does not matter. I am getting more frustrated with every episode at how the main character is handled, because it's almost like the main character isn't even there.
Maybe.
Like,
counterpoint to the time travel thing. It doesn't have importance because he's in the past. It has importance because he has information from the future, which leads him to do any of the shit he's actually doing.
But he never uses it.
He does. He does, because he would never have joined Toman. He would never become friends with Mikey or Draken. He would have avoided them like the fucking plague, and he would have ran. And as for the fact that the last 5 minutes are the only importance that he serves, no. His entire time of befriending Mikey and Draken, getting involved with Toman, is the reason why he's so ingrained with them now. He's, at least for the first half of the show, like, him being in the past had constant effects that changed things.
Like, because in the first half, like, the first arc I consider, because I actually do think in the first few episodes where he managed to get Akun saved, like, from going to jail, I thought he had a lot of incredible importance there. And yeah, he befriended Mikey and Draken, but the events of that parking lot brawl went largely the same way as when it did in the future, except not Mikey. Takemichi got to carry Draken away and save him. I thought that arc was actually really well done for the most part. There was that one episode where we were just like, God, Takemichi, there's a bat right next to you. Just grab it and hit some guy over the head. Which
it's frustrating. It's just because this adaptation really doesn't want to fucking do any fights in this fight manga.
Yep, and that doesn't change with the most recent arc. And something happens in this arc too that's really similar, where everything goes the exact same way it went in the future until the final 5 minutes. And it's not even because of Takemichi something changed. Well, okay, it kind of is, butterfly effect and all, but it's just frustrating, because in a show, I want to see the main character do something, and Takemichi continues to do nothing. And it's just frustrating. I don't even know if it's a fault of the adaptation at this point. I do want to read the manga at some point, because I know a lot of people love this manga. Maybe it's just the adaptation not showing it well, but the more I watch, the more frustrated I get with Takemichi. They've even cut out with the dumb comedy. They don't do any of the stupid comedy anymore. Like, the comedy that we largely didn't like. And I just... It's been a frustrating show for me. But yeah, that's my graveyard of Tokyo Revengers.
Alright, let me finish it off by making a fucking public service announcement. If you haven't watched Gurren Lagann, watch Gurren Lagann. It's fucking fantastic. It's the best mech anime, and there is no other mech anime that can beat it, period.
I'd argue against that, but it is it is the perfect starter pack anime. It has every good trope that anime has condensed into one show.
It's most. I don't have the statistics, but it's probably the anime that I've rewatched the most.
Yeah. Did we spend more time talking in the Graveyard Tour than we did in the actual segment?
Yes, we did. A part of the reason why I went into Helsing Talk, because I was stretching for an hour.
Did we? I think we spent like an equal amount of time.
Yeah.
Then again, we did talk about more shows in the Graveyard Tour than we did in the actual FMK, because we only have 3 left.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, Meep, I'm surprised you haven't dropped Tokyo Revengers. Like, I feel like I would have hit the point of frustration a long time ago if I was you.
I know why he hasn't. Meep's just currently dealing with the sunk cost fallacy.
It's so close to being over. I want to see it through, then I'm going to pick up the manga.
Told you, sunk cost fallacy.
That's also kind of part of the reason why I'm still watching Ida-ten. There's only 4 episodes left.
Oh my god, really?
It had episode 7 and it's 11 episodes long. So 8, 9, 10, 11.
That show still kind of sounds like it's plodding along still. Like, nothing really big has happened, has it?
I mean, they're fucking invading Sobel right now from what Meep says.
Oh, yeah,
They also don't have enough chapters to even make 11 episodes, so it's probably going to have a anime only. Unless they're adapting from the webcomic. If they're adapting from the webcomic, then I think they have enough for 11.
Either way, I think we had enough of a talk about the Graveyard Tour now.
Yeah, we've talked about the dead long enough.
Yeah. Sorry if I talked a little bit too much.
No, it's fine, but the dead shall live in our memories, not in our words.
Some of those shows aren't even dead, they're just not a part of the show.
They're dead.
They're dead of old age.
Yeah.
I mean, Helsing wouldn't have even qualified for being on the FMK. It's an OVA series.
That's true. I mean,
unless we did a...
I mean, if in that case, I think Girlfriend is also an OVA series.
No, I mean, like, it's 1 hour long episodes that were released throughout the course of 5 years.
Oh yeah, no, that would never work.
The original TV animation? Yeah, but it'd probably die because it sucked.
Unless we did an FMK where it's like, let's blast to the past, where we take like 10 shows from a previous season.
Oh my god, that'd be fun to do, actually. Like a retro FMK.
Retro. I think I suggested that like the start of this season. Like,
dude, that'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
And we all just take like some of our we all pick like one show we want to include, and then we just the one show that we guaranteed that we just take a few of our favorites, pull them in a fucking wheel box, and then spin that shit.
Dude, like All Stars Champion FMK. That'd be fun as hell.
Oh my god.
Only problem is we'd probably sit there with like 2 shows having died the entire season.
Or maybe,
yeah.
Or we'd have to do it like tournament style, where we have to kill something every season, every episode.
That would be harsh.
Oh.
It's like just everyone compiles a list of their 9s and 10s, and then we just make a list of 10 and just do it week by week.
Well, then two to 3 of those would be from this season and last season.
I feel like that's the qualifier. They can't have been in the FMK before.
Yeah. It's like I'd be throwing in shit like Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex, Black Lagoon, Code Geass, Madoka. I could get Meep to watch Madoka.
Like what I was even thinking was like going like, instead of, because you know how we started in fall 2020. What if we did like like summer 2020, like Blast from the Past. We're going to this season from before the FMK started.
Yeah. I could see that, just like doing a season, like maybe just like pulling a bunch of general anime fans and just seeing what some of the like banger seasons were, and then going through and doing the FMK through that.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, like,
I mean, hopefully we haven't watched most of the shows from the season.
Yeah, and the idea, The idea would be once we get to like 3 or 4 shows left, we can start like, hey, let's do 2 episodes a week now since we have enough time.
Yeah. We'd be through the season faster. Yeah, because like if we're down to 3 different shows, why not make it double episodes so we'd have 6 episodes to talk about? But enough of our speculation of what we might pull in the future.
Hey.
I think it's time to sign off.
Yeah, I think that's about that point.
I have been the host, Matt, joined by my co-hosts, Limis and Makan. Say good boy.
I'm coming for you.
Goodbye.
It's inevitable.
By the way, also, VODs
soon.
are changing. VODs are changing. They're going to be on my channel and not Dal's anymore. Channel 646. Go there. You're going to find the rest of Season 4 there. Goodbye.
Bye.